Welcome to Industry Insights. Today I'm talking to Hans-Dieter Philipowski, President of ENFIT. Hi Hans-Dieter, it's great to have you on this interview series. Would you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Yes, of course, it's very easy. Thank you at first, Stephanie, for the chance to have this interview today with you. Of course, my name is Hans-Dieter Philipowski. Of course, I'm working more than 30 years in the field of industrial engineering and food safety. And since 15 years ago, I'm the founder and the president up to now of the association ENFIT. And so it's a pleasure for me to be here today.
Great.
Thank you.
Pleasure is all mine. We are part of ENFIT as well, and of course part of the European Working Group. But the question is, who else is part of the European Working Group? What companies or how did they all come together and form this group?
Yes, of course, the reason when we built up the association ENFIT is that we will bring together the companies around the supply chain. So that means that it's producers, food producers, that are producers of transport units, of tankers, of silos, of tank containers, and so on. Some of our members are logistic companies, transport companies, cleaning stations, and certification bodies. So that we said, we bring together all these companies, they are working on supply chain safety. That is our focus, to bring everybody on the same level, that everybody is speaking on the same language and to understand what the other needs and what's maybe happened. That is the reason for that.
Yeah. And so we've just recently finished our guideline on food safety in the supply chain. But, you know, there are so many guidelines out there, so many standards. Why do you think it is so very important that we have come up with this specific guideline?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, of course, Stephanie. Of course, there's a lot of guidelines around the world. That is true, but there's no guideline really, that is so deeply involved in this part of transportation, of loading, of unloading, the transport container, is it suitable for food or not, the cleaning and disinfection, food defense, traceability. And that was the reason that we said, of course, there's a big gap in the supply chain, and we will give a spotlight on that to show where are the gaps, to give solutions and ideas and say how this market is working, so that the producers have the possibility to check the supply chain by themselves and to make their products safer and to protect them against recalls, cost-intensive recalls. That is the reason for that.
And how is our guideline structured?
The structure is that we give a lot of examples about how the market is in the daily business going. That means with all the manipulation, with some cheap tricks about what is previous loadings of a truck, maybe a cheap cleaning that can be not give you a good transport hygiene, no testing about the results of the cleaning. And we have organized this guideline with a lot of pictures and graphs so that everybody can read it, maybe not like a book for the holidays, but he has the possibilities to go really deeply in all these parts and can take everything what is necessary for himself to protect his company against recalls and to make the supply chain and his own products really safer for the consumers and to protect the company, of course, as well.
Yeah. And so by seeing and being able to look at the examples, people will know what to do and how to do it, and they can take whatever they specifically need out of our guideline.
Yeah.
But then what would you say, who is the ideal user or ideal adopter of our guideline?
I think everybody who's working in quality management and maybe an organization of logistic services and so on. Of course, the big companies have a lot of incoming products, outgoing products as well. And everybody who's working in the quality management, in the logistic departments, but the management of the company as well. Of course, every owner should look how he can protect his company against all these not so nice recalls. And a lot of companies pays millions of that and can damage their brand and their companies. And that is the focus of our guideline.
Yeah, and we're all so very proud that it is finished now and it's
Yeah.
ready to be published and shown to everyone who's really a part of the supply chain and who needs to know all the details and can benefit from the guideline and from the advices that we're giving and from the examples we're showing. But now that it's finished, what are the next steps?
The next step is to bring out this knowledge. Of course, we will do it free of charge. Of course, it's not our interest to earn money for that. Of course, our interest is to bring everybody together to a new food safety culture. Of course, that is the background. And all these members of this working group bring in their knowledge, their personal knowledge, their knowledge of the companies, and that we are interested to share it with the world. Of course, we know from the FDA, from the Canadian authorities, from UK, from India, from China, everybody has the same problem. And we are interested as the association ENFIT, of course, to share this knowledge around the world and then to come into contact with the people and then share other things that can be helps to bring us to a good culture of food safety and food quality. So that is our interest. And we hope that a lot of people then more know ENFIT, they know more what our members are doing. And I think that should be always a positive vision for this future as well.
Absolutely. And I'm keeping my thumbs and fingers crossed and thumbs up for our guideline because it's been a pleasure working with you and the team. You've done a great job, motivating us and keeping us up on speed and making sure we don't, kind of get stuck in other conversations, but really focus on the guideline. And I think the way it turned out, it's just an amazing piece of work, and it should be read excuse me, it should be read by all the people involved in the supply chain to make the food safe and make sure that the consumer stays healthy. So thank you very much for that work that you've been doing all those years now. And we will be working together in the future, I'm sure that. And so all I can say now is thank you very much for taking the time to participate in my interview, and stay safe, stay healthy, and thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Stephanie, for this interview. And let's do this work now. Of course, we have done the last 3 years working on the guideline, but now is a really interesting part to bring it to the world for our mission and vision and share this knowledge together with all. Thank you very much. Have a good time. Stay safe and take care of you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. That has been today's episode of Industry Insights. My guest, Hans-Dieter Philipowski. Thank you very much for your attention, and see you soon.